Gonna do a thing, but you'll shut
I'm
up.
just kidding.
Okay.
You don't need to throw me on that, do you?
Yeah, we do. What are we
You
doing?
do? Okay.
So what are we doing? What is BTone?
BTone is a company that makes guitar pickups.
Guitar pickup.
A guitar pickup is this in a guitar. There's 3 pickups.
So what does that do?
That is what makes the sound for what people hear. So you strum your strings, and that disrupts a pickup's magnetic field, and it pulses electronics, essentially electricity, through your electronics and out this output jack that goes into your amplifier, and then people hear it.
Okay.
And guitars are all different. This guitar has a pickup like right in here. Oh. Right?
Okay.
And then you can see that right here, you plug in.
Right.
And so all of that, when you strum an acoustic, you get a lot of sound inside here. So the pickup's picking up the sound inside here. So there's different pickups for different things. These are single coils, and then Gibsons have humbuckers, and you know, it gets a little complicated. Right now I'm not really doing humbuckers. I do, because I play a Strat.
Okay.
I'm doing single coils because that's essentially what I know. So you can see they're kind of laying all over the place. I have a set of 3 here and here and here.
That's what you sold Doug, was a set of 3, right?
Yes.
For his guitar.
Yeah, exactly. And then they all kind of look the same. And then there's like pickup covers. So there's different.
So you can do different colors?
Yeah. Like Doug.
Do you do those in your 3D printer?
No.
No, you buy those?
These I do buy. I could, but I don't.
Okay.
Just because they come out a lot nicer when they're not 3D printed.
Got it. Got it.
And so here I make the pickups. This is a winder, a CNC winder. So it's kind of bridging the gap between true 100% hand wound and, you know, brittle factory pickups, which people don't really like. And the difference is that when you wind a pickup, the sound of it is pending the tension the wire goes on and how fast it spins. So
that's that index thing that you were talking about.
Yeah. So if you do it manually every time, you could never replicate a sound.
Right.
Right. And that's what I originally did in the 90s with my Strat I play all the time. They were hand wound, so I've kind of reverse engineered what I did to be able to have my classic version of them. They're as close as I could get without being it, because you could never make 2 of the same.
Okay.
And in a way, you still can't make 2 of the same, but you can make them close enough that it's not really an audible difference.
Right.
So that's why I come up with the BTI, I call it, the BTone index, which takes all of these, and this is a multimeter or an LCR meter here. So this kind of reads all the specs on a pickup, and then through that you can do a complicated math formula that kind of translates those numbers into an interpretation into words of like, what would it sound like?
So if someone says, hey, I want my guitar to sound just like Stevie Ray Vaughan's,
I say it's never going to happen.
Okay. So that was a dumb question. Is that what you're saying?
No, I get what you're trying to say. Well, first of all, 90% of your tone is in your hands.
Okay.
Right? But the 10% that's your gear, if you struggle with your gear, it's like anything in life. You can't be yourself if you're fighting your gear. You'll never feel it to play 100, to feel like I had a really good show if you're fighting your gear.
Right.
And then the other thing is, yes, you know, somebody's going to say, you know, I want to sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Okay, that's like super broad, but people do say that. It's more like I want, you know, a Texas overwound, hot, mid-ranging sounding pickup versus like bright and brittle. And you've heard it. When I played my B10 Spirits, you said that's way more bright than your guitar.
That's the white one when you first put the pickups in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's because that's more like a vintage style Strat pickup. So, but if you like a bright, glassy sound, then that's what you want to have.
Mm-hmm.
right? If you have an overwound, mid-ranged sounding pickup, but you want brightness, you can get that with your amps and pedals, but you're going to struggle to try and get it.
Right.
So you want to, like, the pickup's the engine, right? Imagine buying a Honda Civic and thinking it's going to perform like a Mustang.
Right.
You could get it to perform like a Mustang, but you got to do a lot of mods to it.
Right.
So
Unless
why
you're
not
starting with the right pickups.
But if you want a Mustang, you could start with a Mustang engine, and then you don't fight everything else to do what you need to do.
Well, that makes sense.
Right? So that's
Okay.
kind of the concept on that. And the BTone index is, you know, it's nothing proprietary or innovative.
Probably should be.
Well, no, it's not. Like, there's a lot of guys, like Bill Lawrence had an index where he took a couple metrics. There's like the CP, LP, Q factor, and RP. You don't even need to know what they are, but he took a couple of those numbers and would divide them by each other, and then it would kind of give him a range. So when he took those numbers and divided them, he could say, this is what that pickup should sound like. If it's within. I've gone a little further with that, where I times a couple numbers, divide X by Y. It's, you know, we don't need to get into that, but that just kind of helps me further refine. So when somebody says to me, like, this pickup here is the sound guy gave me this at the Blues Can in Calgary that does the jam there. So I've taken the wire off of it and actually did a video of that. So he wants me to rewind this for him. And I just talked to him the other day and I said, well, go meter, because to match it, I need to know what those specs are.
Right.
Otherwise, it's going to kind of wind up in a way like Simon's did, where it sounds good on its own, but it doesn't play nice with the other pickup, because they're two totally different things, which was my fault. I probably should have figured out what that means.
Do the three have to be wound the same, or can you combo?
No, they're not wound the same, but they would be matched where they're close enough, right? Like, you wouldn't take, you know, and you can, guys do it. Like, they'll get one brand on the bridge and one brand. It depends on what they want out of their guitar.
Got it.
But typically with a Strat set, they're matched. So if, for instance, output wise would be like the resistance, the DCR, and that's typically how guitar players talk. So if your bridge pickup is, say, 6.1 DCR, your neck is probably more like a 5.9 or a little bit lower in output, right? Because just naturally, two pickups exactly the same are going to sound different if they're in the bridge or neck position, because the strings are vibrating different, the wood, all those things, right?
So that makes sense.
So they're kind of wound as a set, but a lot of guys will say, I really love the bridge, I don't like the neck, I'm taking the neck out, I'm going to try another something else. And those guys, you know, as guitar players, are a little bit, I guess, more tech advanced in terms of what they want for their sound, but most players know what they want tone wise, and they try to get it with pedals and amps.
So who's your ideal customer?
Well, right now, a Strat player. I am getting into the humbuckers and P90s for Gibsons and other model guitars, but right now, my specialty is the single coils for Strats, or anything that takes a single coil. And it's basically somebody that, every guitar player is a tone chaser. So if you're serious about guitar, whether you're a touring, gigging musician or a weekend warrior or a guy that plays around the house, whatever sound you're going for, it starts at your pickups. So guys that are buying pedals and buying amps and trading pedals and trading amps and swapping in and out, trying to find the sound they like, going, I bought this amp and realized now I don't like it, I need something else. It may be your pickups. Like, you may have those bright pickups and you're trying to get this warm, overwound sound, but you're struggling to get there because you might have the wrong engine in your guitar. And that's why a lot of guys buy and sell guitars. Well,
and I know a number of them that
do
come to the jam with a different guitar like every month. Yeah,
and that's, I think, part of it. You know, the other part as a player is, what does it feel like?
Right.
You know, and I've always told guys, like, however, if it feels good and doesn't sound right, you can make it sound right. 90% of the time, I would say. Like, you can get new electronics, but most guys will go, love the way it feels, hate the way it sounds, I'm going to get something else.
Right.
And that could be Strats that all look like a Strat. Like you're, going from a 35 to a Strat to a Ibanez, or all these weird different guitars that have very different sounds from one to the other.
Do people fall in love with guitar types like they do car types? Like there's going to be people that will always own a Mustang or always.
Yeah, I'm a living example. I'm a Strat guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to play a Tele. I don't like Teles because they're too bright. I don't like Gibsons because the volume knobs are not where I can ride. So if you look at, this is a 79 Strat, which isn't vintage because I've painted it with trem clad.
Is this the trem clad?
Well, with trem clad like the other one. For instance, like this is the volume knob. So when I play, I can ride the volume.
Okay.
Right? With a Gibson, you got these volume tone or something. And anytime I play them, if I gotta stop playing.
Right.
And adjust, like imagine I'm like, and I gotta stop and reach way down here to turn. Where with here I can.
Right.
Like I can ride that with, and that's just my style. You'll have Gibson guys that go, I hate Fender guitars because of where the volume knob is.
Right.
Well,
personal preference.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Then, I'm thinking, are pickups in bass guitars too?
Yes. Pickups are in anything that's amplified.
Well, isn't every instrument amplified?
Yeah. So every instrument that's amplified would have a pickup unless it has a microphone in front of it. It's just got to get amplified somehow. At least that's how I understand it.
Do keyboards have pickups?
Well, keyboards will have I'm not a keyboard expert, but they are amplified to where you plug a 1/4-inch jack into an amp. So at some point, there's something generating the power in there.
Okay.
Likely not a pickup, because the concept of a pickup is pretty simple. You have an unwound pickup, and these are magnets. And these get magnetized with magnetizer. And the composition, like you have different pickups, or magnets, sorry. Alnico 2s, 3s, 5s, 8s, ceramic ones. Like there's all these different types. And then there's bar magnets, and you can go down rabbit holes with that. But ultimately, these get charged. And when you strum your string, there's a magnetic field. And when you strum your strings, that vibration pulses the wires, and there's just a little electrical pulse that goes out.
Do you wind it and then magnetize it?
I magnetize after I wind, yeah.
Is that?
I'm going to pot in here. Yeah, I guess, some people will magnetize at this stage before they wind. But my process is this. So this machine here is a laser cutter. And as you can see inside, there's some flat work in here, right? So these are the sheets of flat work, and you can see 2 pieces cut out here. Now that cuts this up, and that's the bottom part. It's called the bottom bobbin.
Oh, okay.
Right, and then these are the magnet holes. The lead wires go through here, and then 2 eyelets on there. Now, I do the same thing with a smaller sheet. This is 2.4 mils, so you can see the thickness, right?
Okay. Yeah. On
that. And then that'll be your top piece. And just for design, I usually do black on gray, and then I have ones here that are red on black. They don't, that doesn't affect the tone. That's just like purely cosmetic.
Gotcha.
So once I do these, then I have these all up, and I've got black bottoms as well. Then I have all these jigs that I've made up, which basically allow me to press with this arbor press the magnets in all by hand. So I can choose. I've got Alnico 2s. I've got my 5s are on the orange, but these are all different sizes. These ones are 0.63 inches in height, 0.65, 0.671. And all these different sizes will be a different level of magnetism.
Okay.
And that'll affect the tone.
Right.
Right. More magnetism, it's more output, more brightness. The A2s are a little warmer sounding. They're less magnetism, like if you do a full charge. But then I also have these jigs where I can not fully charge. Like a lot of builders just fully charge, where I can say, you know, I'll fully charge these because I want hot output, but then other ones I might 80% charge them.
Right.
And that'll all affect the tone, just like the wire does. Right. And then once they're wound on the winder, then you solder on these lead wires. And then that's pretty much good to go. This is just for potting, which I'll pot these now.
What's potting?
This is a wax mixture of paraffin wax and beeswax.
Oh.
Right. And this is almost ready. You can see a little piece in there.
Yeah.
But we'll just do it right now because it's good enough. So now there'll be air gaps in these coils. So if I didn't pot this, it would still work. But at high stage volumes, it could squeal, get a lot of feedback, be hard to control. So the wax will help stop those, what they call microphonics, and then secure this in. These aren't magnetized.
Okay.
Because when I do drop them in this wax, they'll usually snap together, and I just prefer that doesn't happen because I broke lead wires doing that. And don't like these. So you can see the bubbles coming out of that.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
So that's the wax going into the voids.
Right.
So you can lightly pot them where you don't release all the bubbles.
Right.
You can full saturate them. I also have here, which is like a vacuum chamber. If I really want to like get them, but I don't use that as often as this. This does the trick for single coils. So these will sit in here for a few minutes, and just the temperature of them, you see that wax coating, but those will clear up. And since we're doing that, I do have to wax pot these ones too, so I might as well just throw these guys in there as well. Actually, I'll wait.
Overcrowd.
Yeah, I'll wait for the other two. But yeah, so that's the wax potting, and this stuff will do this. So this bench here is kind of to, build these bobbins, right? So I cut the bobbins in the laser cutter, then I decide which magnets I'm going to, which rod magnets I'm going to use. I use the arbor press to press those in. Then I get this, and these are all just jigs. So these are coil heights. So the height of these coils are going to affect the tone too. Okay. Right? That's why a P90, which is shorter and wider, sounds different than, one that's, thinner and taller.
Right.
Right. Even though it could have the same amount of wires, why I always tell guys, DCR resistance doesn't tell you how a pickup's going to sound. Right. It's like a fingerprint. It just tells you how long the wire is. It doesn't tell you, because two pickups with the same amount of wire have the same DCR. Right. They don't sound anything alike. Right. Because
they're wound differently.
Yeah, and how loose it goes on, how tight it goes on, how much wire goes on, whether it goes perfectly back and forth or it's like scattered around. Like that's all going to affect inductance, capacitance, Q factor. Those are the metrics that really affect the tone. So when you're winding, you can control things. If somebody says, I want a warm sounding, high output pickup, I'm going to know how I would wind that.
How did you learn all of this?
Well, I started as a kid when I had a whole lot of free time. Playing music. Well, and when I was younger, I had a couple guitars stolen, and my parents fought, through insurance companies to get the money to get those back. And eventually they did and bought me some new guitars. But that's how I got my Franken Strat. Like, the guy got me a 94 neck, and I'd made like a swamp ash body, and then wound pickups because, I couldn't afford as a kid to go spend hundreds of dollars on a set of pickups to realize I don't like them, to go sell them for 10 cents on the dollar and then go buy another set. Yeah. So I was just winding pickups and didn't like it, and cut the wire off and rewind it and throw it back, and you just kind of learn from trial and error. Nowadays it's a little easier because you can go to YouTube and there's 100 guys out there telling you how it works, right? Yeah. But that's kind of this process. And then this little jig here is just to get the eyelets in. So these little things, just a bag of eyelets, because you have to bang them into here. As you can see on the belt, well, they're soldered there.
Right.
But if I show you on this one, you can see the eyelets,
Yeah.
right? Because then
Yeah.
when you tie the wire on there, then the wire's got a connection,
Oh, okay.
right?
Right.
So when you solder it, and then you wind it, and then you tie the cut end when it's done on that side.
Right.
And then this hole in the middle here, just you shove these wires up and you put your ground and your hot wire on there.
Voila.
Yeah, I know it sounds totally confusing.
Well, I mean, I also don't speak guitar.
But but a lot of guitar players that speak guitar, they don't, a lot don't know pickups.
Right.
Because most people don't. Like, it's under the hood, and everybody understands, like, pedals and what a pedal does.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, and yeah, that's why I relate it to cars. It's like a lot of people don't know how to work on engines, so they try and trick their cars out to do something the engine just isn't designed to do.
So does this translate to other brands? Like, I know that you're Strat focused, but does this?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's typically, like, you know, you could make a pickup out of any design or shape. It's basically a magnet with wire wrapped around it.
Okay.
Lead wires.
So you just know what the shape needs to be for that kind of guitar, and then you can.
Well, yeah, and this was already, you know, kind of invented. So now you can see in here, these bubbles are now, like, the wax is kind of penetrated in.
Yeah.
So now I just shake them around, knock some out there, but I'm going to just grab a little thing of paper towel, because when they come out...
They're a little hot.
Well, not that they're hot, just that when, like, you'll see this dripping on there, but then I just take the paper towel and because you don't want it on the magnets, it's just to lock in the coil.
Oh, I see.
Coil, essentially, right? So
right.
You'll get a bit of buildup on that, so I just kind of...
This is the attention to detail when you have someone doing this for you, when it's not a manufactured by a machine in a factory.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not sure how much wiping this with a paper towel really affects the tone, but
it shows the care that goes into it, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, 100%, right? And I obviously stand behind everything I do, like, you know, anybody that wants a set of pickups, you know, is going to get this, and nothing that out would be anything I would never play, right?
He stands behind what he does. That's important. I mean, people are going to pay for quality. And this is what quality is. This is where your small business care comes into play.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go with that.
We're going with that.
I'll throw those other two in there. We've already seen that kind of process. But once these are made, before I do anything else, this is a part that a lot of people find pretty cool. So these three here are cellulose. So I have like nitro and thinner, like a mixture of that. So I dip them in because this wire is like, do I even have, yeah, it's like super thin. Like, I don't even know if you can see that. Maybe across the gray you can see.
Barely.
And that's 42 gauge. The 43 is even thinner that I'll use with the B90, the 43 juiced or 43 gauge.
Yeah.
So like that's super small. So when that wire touches here, that wire has a insulation on it. And if that insulation breaks and the actual wire inside touches this metal, it'll short out and the pickup will stop working.
Oh.
And that happened with a lot of Fender guitars so dipping this in nitro gives a coating.
And you do that before you wind it.
Yes.
Okay.
So then when I wind it, so the nitro will help lock this into place, but it'll also coat the magnets to help further prevent. So if the vibrations of the wires, when you're playing, it's loud, the wires are all moving around. If that coating breaks, and that touches, and it touches nitro, not the metal magnet, it won't short out.
Oh, interesting.
So when I repaired Simon's, it wasn't the end lead, because a lot of times when they're wound, you just get a wire that's broke, right? So you can just resolder it on and the pickup will work. But when there's a break in the coil or it's touching a magnet in there,
Yeah.
then it's shorted out and it just won't work.
Right.
You gotta cut all the wire off and rewind it.
Right.
And
so you just dip it in, or do you sit it in? Like, how long does it?
No, I just dip it in there.
Yeah, and then hang it.
And then hang it. And again, like I'll wipe it off so it's not like on the top magnets.
Mm-hmm.
And then just so it doesn't ball up on the edges, I'll do that. And then I'll let this dry usually for like 12 or 48 hours. Now this is ready to, I'll put the eyelets in first, because they got to be in to wrap the wire. So it's kind of like, I'll cut the bobbins. The first step is cutting the bobbins on the laser cutter.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put the magnets in to build this pickup shape.
Mm-hmm.
Then I dip it in nitro. Then I put the eyelets in. Then I wind it.
Then you wind it.
Then I solder the lead wires on. Then I pot it. And then and the meters will check out. But then I've also created this here, which is just, I'll plug a guitar into here. And then I'll do the lead wires on the pickup here, and then I can just tap the pickup. So then that lets me know that the magnets are working.
Cool.
Because I don't want to play everyone, otherwise but
yeah, but it's used by James Buddy Rogers. Doesn't that add value?
We devalue it. That's what I would say when people said, "Hey, can you sign my CD?" I'll say, "Are you sure you want to depreciate the value of that thing?" Yeah, so that's kind of you can see how it kind of pulls up a little bit on here, right?
Right.
And then you just kind of give it a little wipe.
The care.
Yeah, and a lot of vintage ones you'll see, like a lot of guys like the fact that they're like, oh cool, I can see the wax residue. Whatever.
I like how you have like everything branded. BTone.
I know. Well, I went a little nuts on the yeah.
BTone.
See, I've even got the keychains all right here. Yeah. Doug's got one of those. And then I was actually going to give him a couple of these ones, like the coasters.
He had a little bit of fun with the 3D printer. That's cool.
Yeah.
So how much does a set of these go for?
$1 million. You remember that show?
Yes.
Yeah, retail Canadian $350, US is kind of around the $250 mark. I guess depends on the exchange.
It's like $1.40 right now. That's crazy.
I know. Yeah, but the site is set for Canadian, so it does an auto conversion, and so the US price does fluctuate as the dollar fluctuates.
What's the website?
TheBTone.com.
There you go.
See, aren't you so smart?
Marketing, it's my jam.
Yeah, it's mine too. Sometimes I'm bad at it.
So yeah, if you want that personalized service, reach out and talk to him because he knows his stuff.
So I got nothing else to do.
Yeah,
I'm just
because he's not a busy guy at all.
Yeah.
What else do you want to say?
This is
anything?
I don't know. Yeah, go to the website. Like, there's a bunch of one thing I'm focusing more on is
more
is live videos of stuff, right? Like, given the fact that I play all the time and you're able to film some great videos.
Because deluxe entertainment,
yes.
But yeah, watch on his TikToks.
Yeah, but what I was going to say before I was so rudely interrupted. I'm going
to do it again too. Now every time he talks.
I know. Yeah. Of course you are. And did you just snort? You totally did. No, what I was going to say is, like, a lot of pickup people, like, they do videos, like demos, because people want to hear what the pickups sound like. And I've listened to a lot and seen what other people do, and I can do it to where, you play, you record through a DAW, and you put it out like professionally, But those things are so colored, right? You're running it through a DAW.
What's a DAW?
Like a digital audio workstation,
okay.
like a studio essentially.
Okay.
It's almost like imagine, here's my album. Okay, well, you've processed it. What does it really sound like, right? So one of the things I've been trying to focus on is these live videos of like myself or Doug, or when other people are playing my guitars, or when people have them, because if somebody hears a recording on a cell phone, like that's raw.
Yeah, and anything I record, like anything you see that says video by Deluxe Entertainment, it's my phone. It's not processed through anything. I don't digitize it. I don't nothing. There's no filters. There's no fox ears because it's Snapchat. Nothing. It's like it's my phone.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying in terms of it not having any color to it.
Yeah.
Right? So when people are hearing it, it's like you're just hearing what it sounds like off the stage into a phone. There's no, I realize you might miss some sort of clarity if guys want to hear certain things. So I will get around to doing some more studio stuff, but primarily like this is for guys that are playing, right? And a lot of these benchmark things that people put out, it's like nobody's going to audibly hear the difference anyways. That's, like I was talking to someone the other day and he said, oh, a guy bought these pickups and he sent them back because they had a 500 ohm resistance difference, and I'm like, that doesn't even affect the tone, and you could check it the next day when it heats up and the DCR is going to be totally different. Just the temperature could swing it that much, right?
Okay.
So yeah, it's more of like, what's it going to sound like when somebody gets on stage and plays, because that's really who I guess I target, guys that are just, it's like cut through the BS, through the marketing fluff.
Are you in a band? Are you a jammer?
Yeah, and it almost doesn't matter. It's just like, there's no magic to these. And it drives me nuts to see companies that are like trying to, I guess, sell a sizzle that they're better than the next. And I'm not going to claim to be better than the next guy. Like, you've got guys that charge $1,000 for a set, and then factory sets are a little bit cheaper than these. This is just a good boutique value, and everybody's pickups are going to sound the same. But at the end of the day, we're all using, like for these Strat style, everybody's using the same components.
Right.
Like nobody's got special magnets.
Right.
It's just how they're magnetizing them, how they're building these bobbins. Like some guys won't use nitrocellulose. They'll use this kind of tape, right?
Oh.
And they'll wrap this around the magnets before they put the wire on. So this is hidden between your magnets and your wire. You would never see it unless you cut your wire off.
Right.
I've seen that a lot on repairs that I've done. I have it. I've used it. I don't for these because I don't like the way it goes on. I feel like it doesn't go on consistent enough for me when you put the tape in. Like it builds a layer. It might.
I was gonna say, yeah, it would.
Yeah, so I don't do it because any little nuance in your whine potentially affects the tone. Because it will affect the capacitance, the inductance. And
those are big words.
I know they are. I'm proud of myself too. It's like I feel like I'm smart.
SMRT.
SMRT. Drive my kids nuts when they say that. But yeah, that's kind of all there is to it. It's just cool. I'm just tone driven. That's all.
So
all I'm about.
Speaking of, so if you come across his videos on his social media, you'll want to click in and then scroll, because often he's playing different guitars on the same stage on the same day, and I have recorded all of them. I've taken snippets of all of them, so you'll be able to hear the different sounds on the different.
That is exactly what I was trying to say till I was so rudely interrupted, remember?
I'm smarter than you, so.
SMRT. Yeah, no, what I've done on the site is, there's a demos page now which has each model, and they're primarily live videos.
Good.
And I'm going to continue to do them as people send me videos or as I play and you film stuff.
Mm-hmm. Or if I'm, at a jam and he has lent his guitar out to somebody who's playing it, then you can see the different styles and how it sounds.
Yeah, or when somebody's playing a set or whatever, and
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of really all it is. There's no magic to it. It's just,
magic.
Yeah. factories are just like right off the shelf, just pump them. And I guess it circles back to your attention to detail, right?
Right.
They're
exactly.
just pumping volume out.
Well, they're not cookie cutter. These are not cookie cutter.
No, and they're all going to sound slightly a little bit different, right? But you're never going to know the difference, because if I take like the ones that Doug has right now, I had and played in my white Strat, and they sound a bit different because
I like his better.
Well, because he's got his is better guitar.
Right.
Like the body I made is all rounded out. It's sprayed with trem clad. It's not
right.
I just figured if I can make that sound okay, then anything else.
Which it did.
Great.
It did. I mean, yes, Doug's sounds
but he has a
better,
much better guitar than that one.
But it sounded great in the white guitar. It sounds amazing in Doug's blue guitar.
Yeah. And now he's got it in a different guitar.
Does he?
Yeah, because he's got the other set in his blue one. But yeah, you know, whatever. The tone chasers, start with your pickups. I'm not saying you got to buy mine. Like, would I like you to? Sure. But
the BTone.com.
But it could be and they don't come in just sets, right? Like I will, if somebody likes just the bridge of a certain model, they can get that. They don't have to buy a set of 3. They can buy individual ones.
There you go.
But I am offering a guarantee. If you're shipping them, then obviously like you would have to eat those costs for the guarantee. But I definitely offer a guarantee. If you're going to buy a set of these things and then realize you don't like them, send them back and I'll give you your money back. Like I won't eat the shipping costs, but you know, if you're willing to risk a shipping cost to see if you like them, then you know, that's your only risk.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else you want to say?
No.
God, you talked for 36 minutes.
No, I didn't. I talked for 6 minutes. You talked for 30 minutes.
Okay, the BTone. Like shut up. The BTone.com. That's where you want to go. Right?
Yeah, that's where you go. Right now, I'm watching. I don't see you on the site. Get there.
Bye.